Hey Ben, how we doing?
Not bad. How you doing, Bill?
All right, good to see you, bro. I got something for you to try out. This is a Core Essentials belt. Have you ever seen one of these before?
I have not.
Okay, so a couple of really cool things about this. First of all, we got the camel pattern here. Show the camera. So this is the Arid. Okay, and the other cool thing about this is that I got this with the X7 buckle, which is a little thinner than the one that I use, right? See how it's a little bit thinner, and I think that's you use appendix carry, right?
Generally,
Yeah. You're not using it now or later on, maybe?
later on.
Later on, okay. So the nice thing about this X7 is, because it's a little bit more narrow, I think it's going to work better with your appendix carry. But why don't you try that on? And I've cut that for myself. I didn't know how skinny you were going to be. So
What I say?
let's see if it fits. Put that in, great. Put your holster on.
All right.
Then why don't you flip around so we can see it. So it goes through there like that. So I like how it matches your pants. I didn't know how you were going to be dressed today, but it's working out. That Arid camel pattern's working out really good. So put that on. All right, put the holster on. Okay, great. So we mentioned this before: 3 gun safety rules. Guns always in the safe direction. Fingers off trigger until your sights are on target, which we all guns like to load. Okay. Be very aware where I'm at. I'm going to go through some exercises right now, because later on we're going to be doing some 3D shooting. And what I want to do is right now is I want to establish that, and I want to gain the confidence that you're able to move around 360 and control the gun. So I want you to pick up the gun. Show me that's empty. Clear. All right, good. Clear. Don't worry about the gun. All right, and I want you to close it, put it in your holster. Okay. All right, so what I want to do is stand right there. You see that cone over there?
Yes.
That's your target right now, okay? So I want to go through and I know you've had some training before,
Yes.
but I don't know what you know, okay?
Right.
So here's the thing: when you draw, first of all, let me get my gun out so I can. All right, so my gun's clear, right?
Yep. Clear.
Okay. So here's the thing: the way I want you drawing today is.
Yes.
When you go to draw, you're going to put your hand on your chest, right? And the reason is because I want to make sure you don't shoot yourself in the hand. Go to your holster, pull out the gun, pull, rotate, join, and then go to that full extension. Get your sights on target, okay? And when you go to reholster, hands back on your chest as you reholster. And here's the thing, the reason why I'm doing this is because I need you to know where that hand is. If that hand is like floating around here somewhere, eventually it's going to end up in front of the gun.
Oh, you don't want that. Gotcha.
You're right. So that hand, you have to be very aware of that, where that hand is.
Got it.
And this is going to come into play, later on when we do some more advanced grappling stuff, right? We're going to be using maybe some toy guns. When you go to grapple, right, the 2 hands are never on the same line. You got one hand high, one hand low.
Oh, I got you.
But that all goes, or if somebody's going for your gun, this hand's high, the one hand's low, the gun's high.
Yes.
The 2 hands are never on the same plane. So the reason why I'm having you do this thing with the hand in the chest is to make you very aware of where that hand is at all times. Okay. So I'm going to get behind you now. Yeah. So put your hand on your chest. All right. Grip the gun. Pull. Yeah. Pull it. Clear holster. All right. Yeah. Hold on. Let's slow down. Get back in the holster. Yeah. I want you to just pull up and just clear the holster. Let's break it down to some steps.
All right. So.
All right. Pull. Clear holster. No, yeah. Rotate. That's the rotate part. Join in front of your chest. Join in front of your chest. No. 2 hands joined together in front of your chest. The reason why we join here is because if somebody's standing, let's say a bad guy standing 2 feet in front of you, you can start shooting from there. You can start shooting from the rotation position as well if you need to. So you want to have that option to be able to shoot at any point from the point that the gun comes out of the holster to the point that you join to the point that you go to full extension. Okay. Okay. So go to full extension. Get your sights on target. All right. All right. Now come back. And to reholster, do everything in reverse. Get your hand on your chest and reholster the gun. Very good, okay? Right. So let's do that again. Draw. And I'm going to say draw. Go ahead. Join from your chest. Okay, extend. Bring it back. Okay? Try to bring it back together. Okay. When we do like our magazine reloads and stuff like that, we're going to be doing all that here in front of you. The reason is that if somebody's trying to grapple a gun out, you got a lot more strength in close, right? So you don't want to be doing mag changes up here. I know sometimes people do it up
Yeah, they do
here
it by
so they
above
can
it.
see it. That's fine. These are all good techniques. And here's the thing, in different situations, different techniques apply. Sometimes you may want to see it. Other times you might be more concerned with the gun being pulled out of your hand, stuff like that.
Yes.
So even though I know you've taken some, relax, you take the hand off.
Okay.
Yeah, I know you've taken some other classes,
Yes.
and here's the thing, no one, in every class that you get,
Yeah.
you're going to hear different things. And sometimes
true.
they might even conflict a little bit with each other. So what you do is, when you go to any one class, you take the stuff that they're teaching you,
Yes.
and then when you go home, then you think about it, and then you decide in the future what's going to work best for you,
Exactly.
and when and where.
Just
Okay?
like learning to drive.
Yeah. Cool. So why don't you draw, join, extend. All right, good. Reholster. Okay, good. All right, let's do it. Relax. Okay. Now what I want you to do is go ahead, draw. Okay. Okay. Now bring the gun in and point it down into a low ready position. Down. Good. Now what I want you to do is I want you to don't point the gun at yourself. Don't point the gun at me. All right. Keeping the gun pointed down. I want you to rotate and point the gun, let's say, at that bench over there. Go ahead. So extend. Okay. Bring the gun in into a low ready. All right. Turn around and I want you to go back to that target. Now, if I'm in the bad position, go ahead. Now reholster. Okay, so the important thing here is if I tell you turn around and point at that target, maybe I'm distracted or something.
Yeah.
If you turn around and I'm in front of your 180 degrees, the gun doesn't come out of holster. So that's where basically you say, okay, this guy's telling me to do something, but I'm making my own decision that what he's telling me to do is not safe.
Yes.
All right. So if I'm in front of you,
Right.
you know, in front of you 180 degrees, and even though I just told you to point the gun at a target and maybe shoot at it, don't do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's safe if
yeah.
over what you say.
The safety comes first.
100%.
You know, and if you're not sure, don't do it. If you're not sure which target you're supposed to shoot at, don't do it. Okay, cool. So you seem like you're pretty good. Let's do that one more time, and then we're going to do a couple live fire shots with that. So I want you to relax, and I want you to draw and aim at that target. No, bad. Look where I'm standing.
Oh boy. Oh, I see.
Bad. Don't pull the gun out of holster if I'm in front of you. That's why we're doing this without any ammo in the gun. Right?
Gotcha.
So what you
Alright.
do is you tell me to get the fuck out of the way. That's what you tell me to do.
Or just.
Or step in front of me, okay? In fact, let's do that now. Let's relax for a second.
Alright.
So here's the thing. Let's see your stance. That's the stance that you take? Okay, great. That's fine. So here's the thing. Whatever stance that you're in. Now, I personally prefer a boxing stance, but that's fine. If that's the stance that you've been training with, I'm not
That's
going to.
interesting because for years I was shooting pistol like kind of like that.
Yep.
And then my friend Nick, the Baltimore cop, he
Yeah.
he basically suggested this one. I was having better.
The reason why I like a boxing stance is because my fighting background is basically I do short fighting, I do boxing, I've done so in most of the martial arts that I've done, basically we're standing in a position like this, okay?
Right.
So
You know, I kind of like that because it's in between like this and like that and.
well,
that,
I don't like the bladed because now you don't have any.
Yeah, but this is like in between there. Which is,
Right. So here, from this position here, if we're gonna fight, let's say we're gonna fight, get to a fighting stance. Okay, that's your fighting stance, right?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing to be aware of: that a lot of times you're not going to go straight to your gun.
Right.
You might start off with a conversation that gets aggressive and slowly escalates, and basically first you get into this shit, right?
That's right,
With
yeah.
grappling and head pulling and all that
Right,
kind
yeah.
of crap. So a lot of times the conflict is not going to go straight to your gun, right? So we might get into grappling shit.
Right.
And then at some point, you might see I'm going for a knife or gun. Then you go to your gun. But most likely, you're going to be fighting first.
Oh yeah.
Then going
absolutely.
to your gun, right? And then likewise, you might also have, or if you have a situation where, let's say, I start off with a knife, right? And basically you go to your gun, and maybe I close the distance, and all of a sudden we're grappling. Well, get back into your stance now. Right, come a little bit closer so you're in the camera. So if you start off with the stance that you had, so go back to the one that you had side by side,
Oh, you're off
and I do
balance.
this to you,
Way more off balance.
you're going off. You're going off balance.
Oh yeah.
So if you're getting into your fighting stance, right, now you can basically go from fist to gun, back to fist, and grappling and all that stuff. So that's why I prefer whatever your martial arts training is.
Yeah.
Right, and there are some martial arts where they do stand side to side. I think there were Muay Thai guys that do stand side by side. That's fine. If that's your martial arts training where your feet are side by side, then that's fine. I'm not against side by side. I'm not against the horse stance position. But be aware that a lot of times you're not going straight to your gun. You're going from fists to gun, back to fists. Okay? So you want something that's going to be able to scale all through that. Okay? So let's do this again. So basically, I want you to draw point the gun at that target over there.
All right.
Go ahead, draw. No, where am I standing? I'm in front of you. Your gun's out of the holster. Remember? I can't be behind you.
Oh wait, I thought it was in relation to like straight line.
No.
I see what you're saying.
I
All
can't. Yeah, it has to be impossible for me, for you to shoot me.
Got it. All right.
Okay, that's
I
fine.
get
That's
that
why
now.
we're doing all this. That's why we're going through. And it's not like you're not smart or anything. It's just that you've been to different places. They have different ways that they do things.
Right.
You know, this is how, you know, so
Right.
that's one of the things. Before we go live, before I put you in any 3D shooting, I got to make sure that you're not going to pull out the gun if I'm standing here. So one of the options might be, let's do a little bit of movement now. So the reason we start off with your stance, whatever stance you're in, right? If I tell you to move forward, your feet are going to end up exactly where they started. Okay? If I say move back, your feet are going to end up exactly where they started. So that's the thing. So if I'm like this, see how my feet left. So I'm always ending up exactly where I started, and that gives me the ability to get back into fighting. If it gets into a grappling fight or whatever, you know, I can fight. All right, ready? So get into your stance and move forward. Step forward. One step at a time.
All right.
One step at a time. So forward. No, one full step. Go complete and end up exactly where you started off. Is that where you started off? Get into your stance.
I see what you're saying, like this.
Yeah. So if you start off like this, when you step, you're gonna end up like that. So step. No, take one step forward. Move that forward 6 inches. Move that forward 6 inches. You're not exactly where you started off. Now move this back 6 inches. Move that back. There you go.
Oh,
You
that's
see how
what you
your
mean by
feet?
that.
Yeah. Okay. Move left 6 inches. Left.
Oh, you left.
Oh, right. Okay. See how your feet didn't end up? All right. Go right 6 inches. All right. This is something we're gonna have to work on before we go 3D because you got to end up balanced. You know. So that's one of the things that we gotta work on. Let's go back to the holster for a minute. So I want you to draw, point the target, point the gun at that target. Tell me get out of the way. Very good. Excellent. All right. So draw, point the gun at the target.
All right.
Okay. Get into a low ready. Okay. Turn around, point the gun this way. Turn around, keep the gun down ready. There you go. Fine. That was a good decision to turn that way as opposed to this way. Good. Point the gun at that target. Good. Reholster. Okay, draw, point the gun at that target over there. Extend, go into a low ready. Okay, turn around, point the gun at this target here. And extend. Good. And reholster. How's that holster feel?
Pretty good overall.
Okay, how's the belt? Pull up the belt. So that's working good, that's nice and snug.
Absolutely.
That belt is controlling that holster.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay, good. So we're going to be working with this throughout the day, and then later on in the day we'll figure out if that's something that might really work out well for you. Okay, great. You enjoy that part so far?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Excellent. Let me turn off the camera and we'll keep going.
All right. You're not gonna use all that, are you?
Yeah.